Hello, hello, and good evening. Welcome to this edition of the Cancer Coach Talks. I'm your host, Leslie Nance, and tonight we are going to be discussing emotional eating. Now, this is a super giant topic that will never get fully discussed in half an hour here in this training, but I do want to touch on it and hopefully kind of shift your mindset around it. I think sometimes when I bring this to light to people, they're like, oh, yeah, like I'm totally dealing with that. So I get super emotional when I talk about this topic. It makes me like want to eat a pizza or something. Just kidding. Just kidding. Although pizza is my favorite food. If you don't know that about me, the food that I absolutely will never eat is kale. And the food that I absolutely love to eat is pizza. Like you can't even put kale on pizza though and make me eat it. Not happening. So let me introduce myself. My name is Leslie Nance. I am the cancer coach. I'm the founder of this group, Real Answers About Your Cancer, and here to support you and love you through your journey. So whatever your needs are, please take a moment to reach out and to the group here, because there's some amazing people doing some amazing things in their cancer journey. And of course, I'm always here as well. If you want something from me specifically, you should make sure that you tag me, Leslie Nance. Just, tag me in the what your question is so that I see it. If I don't see it, hopefully my admins will and make that available for you. So if you're watching live here tonight, or if you are watching on YouTube or on a recorded part of this, then welcome. Thank you so much. Certified holistic cancer coach, certified holistic nutritionist, also a 6-year cancer survivor, and super happy to be here with you guys this evening. I do coach people one-on-one through a program called Any Stage Cancer Nutrition Program. I am the founder of that. I'm also the founder of GoToKitchens.com, Fork It Over Radio. Holy cow, how do I even have time to sleep? Sometimes I wonder myself. And if you're wondering why my shelves are totally empty behind me, usually there's tons of books back there, but they're totally empty because I'm moving. My husband and I are moving. In fact, hi, Ann, it's good to see you. Moving day starts tomorrow. Whew. And I have been dealing with mortgage people all day, which is so much fun. Not. So I am happy to have a break from that and be here with you guys this evening. So let's get started. I do these trainings on Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And we talk about different topics. If you didn't catch the one from Tuesday night, decoding who to trust when you're reading nutritional scientific information, I highly recommend that you check that out. It was a really, really awesome training that day. So, all right, so let's get moving and a grooving here. So number one thing that I want to talk about tonight is that anytime that I am working with a client, weight is always a discussion. Very few times do I find somebody that enters my program that is like at the perfect weight when they enter the program. A lot of times people are, if they're in active treatment, they are actually struggling with keeping weight on their body. And sometimes if they're newly diagnosed, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they're struggling with weight, having too much weight going into their cancer diagnosis. And so it's always a topic of discussion. In fact, for those of you that work with me on a weekly basis, you're one of my clients, I ask that a lot. I'm always asking, what's your weight? How's your weight doing? There's like three things I always ask. How much water are you drinking? How's the water going? Are you staying hydrated? What's your weight like? And what's your eliminations like? So how's that going? How's it going in the poop department, in other words? Because I always want to know the answers to those questions, because it is an important gauge of how we stay healthy. So can everybody hear me okay? Are we doing good? Videos okay? I mean, all that's working out for you guys. Let me know if we're having a problem. I see a lot of people popping in and out of the room, and so I just want to make sure that we're doing good on that end. Okay, so just give me a thumbs up or something. That would be awesome to let me know everything is rolling around okay. So emotional eating. This is a big topic, and I said it at the beginning of the broadcast, but we are never going to get through this topic fully in 30 minutes and now 25 minutes. So thank you guys for letting me know. Awesome. It's good to have you guys here. Thank you so much for being here. But we're never going to get through this topic fully. So I'm just going to hit the highlight. Sound is clear and good for me. Awesome. Thank you, Marcy. Hi, Marcy. It's good to see you. Hi, Lisa. Thank you guys for joining in tonight. Many things lead us to and not to eating. And so the first thing I want to talk about is the emotional response to eating, where it leads us to eating, because this is something that is like crazy important to talk about. Um, Eugene always tries to, do you guys never, you don't see it, but he's going to pop in the room here in a second. I don't want to embarrass him, but he always tries to do a live call with me. He pushes the wrong button. He'll come in here going, dang internet. It's so funny. So anyway, so yes, but you know, many things lead us to stimulating foods. Many things lead us to eating what we're not supposed to be eating. And I have to tell you, very little of that has to do with nutrition or even hunger. Most of us are led to eating cruddy foods because of our emotional habits. And, you know, it's funny because rarely when somebody is making bad choices in their food decision, it typically is stemming from an emotional crisis that they're in. And these things can be prevalent in our cancer journey. So things like anxiety and depression and stress and loneliness and tiredness, actually fatigue, and anger can actually trigger an emotional response to food. And so, but it becomes very dangerous when we are making poor choices over and over and over and over again. And so typically it has very little to do with hunger and has mostly to do with our emotional responses. So let's get that out of the way. And by the way, when we have these emotional responses, nobody ever like wants broccoli. Like you're like, I'm having a really bad day today. I want some broccoli. Sorry, I need to close my blind. So give me just a second here. It was fine when I started, and now the sun is broken through the clouds, and we need to fix that because it's shining right in my eyes. But none of us ever want broccoli, right? It's not like, yay, I've had a really bad day today. I want some broccoli. No, we want like donuts and pizza and ice cream and potato chips and macaroni and cheese. And, those are the things that we want. You know what my comfort food is? I mean, I love pizza. You should know that my favorite food in all the world is pizza. But you know what my healthy comfort food is? A baked potato. That's like the thing that my body is like, I'm having a really bad day. I just want a baked potato. Right. And so that's the thing that, like, emotionally, it's not like broccoli. I'm not going, I want a big salad. I've had a really bad day today and I want a big salad. It's usually like a baked potato or a sweet potato or popcorn or something like that. And so and I have to tell you, after my day today, I want any of those things or pizza. I've had the craziest day today. You would not believe. Is it always this crazy? At the end of a closing, it's really we close on Monday and they're still asking for documents. And I'm like, what do you mean? Anyway, we don't have this sewed up yet. Okay. Sorry. Off topic. Yeah, but this makes me want to emotionally eat. I'm like, I'm not, I don't get to avoid it just because I'm a health expert. It's still there. It still exists. But a lot of times cancer leaves us incredibly overwhelmed. Has anybody experienced that? Like your diagnosis has just left you like crazy overwhelmed, right? No, I want to stay on this page. Has left you crazy overwhelmed, and there's all these doctor's appointments, and there's all these decisions to make, and there's you've got to get ready, and you've got to make sure everything's in order, and you got to talk to your insurance company. Anybody deal with that, right? Stress eating is real. It's true, Marcy. It is a real thing. Anybody deal with that? Like having to deal with all of that, and what happens? What's like the last thing that you do? You go, oh, yeah. Anne's like, yep. But I mean, what's the last thing that you do? You go, oh man, I need to eat. I should eat something healthy, but I don't have anything healthy at home. What can I eat? And then we end up like just making like last minute decisions. And for some of us, that means like, popping into Whole Foods and getting something off of their real food like bar. And that would be a good decision, actually. Some of us, it's ordering a pizza. Some of us, it's stopping at a drive-through and just trying to make the best decision possible. And by the way, chicken nuggets are not health food. I just want to get that out there. So if any of you are thinking that, just so you know, that is not a better choice. Okay. So French fries are not a vegetable. I mean, they're made with potatoes, but they're so far from a vegetable. So please, tacos do not have the 4 food groups in them. So just paying super, all right. Okay, we're going to talk about that, Lisa. We're going to talk about being the opposite of that, because that's a real thing as well. And I want to address that tonight because that's a massive concern. But I want to get through like the overeating, before we get to, or the poor eating, I guess I should say, before we even get to that topic. And so the thing that I like to say about this, my favorite thought about this is that if hunger is not the problem, then food is not the solution. Think about that. If hunger is not the problem, then food is not the solution. And this is talking about in terms of emotional eating. You're stressed, you're angry, you're overwhelmed, you're depressed, and you want to reach for those comfort foods. You want to reach for those things that are not good for you, right? So if that is not the problem, if hunger is not the problem, then food is not your answer. The answer actually lies in correcting the mindset. Learning how to have a proper stress response, learning how to deal with anger, learning how to deal with frustration, learning how to deal with overwhelm. And this is how I help my clients, or one of the many ways that I help my clients, is helping them deal with those thought processes. And sometimes it just helps to bounce something off of somebody. Like you have a thought process. Hi, Riley. It's good to see you. Hi, Eugene. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for being here tonight. It's good to have you. But it's having somebody to bounce those off of. Maybe I just don't have like the perfect solution for you, but you know me, you trust me, you know that I'm an unbiased resource, and then I'm going to be there for you. And then and it's totally okay to bounce those ideas off of me. In fact, you look forward to that. And sometimes I have a really good solution as well. In fact, a lot of times I'm like, okay, let's reframe that. How many of you have heard me say that? How many of you of my clients that are here tonight have heard me say, okay, that's okay. I understand. I hear your thought. I hear your anxiety about that. Let's reframe that and make it work for you instead of against you. That is dealing with the emotional response. That is doing the mindset work to change that response. Because if hunger's not the problem, then food is not the solution. But there is a solution there. You just need to be willing to look for it and not let food be a temporary fix for what it is that you're truly dealing with. Right? Okay. Dan's just like, oh, yep, tonight. So is Eugene. Everybody's like, yep. So some of you just had a light bulb moment. Some of you just went, oh, dang. Right? This used to be me in spades. I know I use myself as an example a lot. And if you ever think like, dang, she's talking right to me. Like what is she like looking like? Can she see through her computer? Can she see me? You're thinking I'm like looking into your soul. And I do this a lot. But the only reason I know how to do that is because I've walked through it myself. I have been there, done that. I understood. I kept journals. I have a really good mindful understanding of these thought processes that we go through when we are diagnosed with cancer, when we are dealing with the stresses of cancer. And so I used to be an emotional eater in spades. So as soon as stress hit me, boom, I need something. Now, if it was dramatic stress, like when I was diagnosed with cancer or my mom had her stroke back in 2008, if it's like massive, major, like huge stress, I deal with it completely differently. And that's what I like to call emotional starvation. And what happens is that you have this massive stress response to a diagnosis or to news from your doctor, or something makes you really nervous and really fearful. And one of two things typically happens for people. Number one, you feel like you want to vomit, so you can't eat because you feel like you want to throw up. Or two, you need to go to the bathroom. Like, it gives you the nervous poops. So I have a perfect example of that. Nervous poops for me is when the tornado sirens go off. So I love weather, but I'm incredibly fearful of it. I've been in a couple of tornadoes. I've had, my mom and dad's house was completely destroyed by a hailstorm. Their home was totaled by a hailstorm. They had roof holes in their ceiling this big, and it completely totaled their home. I've been in, they scare me. High winds scare me. Those kinds of things scare me. And if a tornado siren goes off, there better be a bathroom near me, because I get the nervous poops. I know it's really gross, but it's true. The other thing that happens is, Lisa touched on this a little bit. She's saying, I don't even think about food. I'm the opposite. So I want to share with you a little bit of experience that I have in working with clients, and then my own experience as well, which tells me that there is an emotional starvation as well, where we actually don't eat because we're dealing with all of the stresses that I named. And I had a big list. Let's go through them again. Because I have anxiety, because I have depression, because I'm stressed, because I'm lonely, because of tiredness, because of anger, because of fear, any of those negative emotions that I would be dealing with that are directly related and truly, truly give me deep-seated fear, I will not eat. And this happens to a lot of people. And so what happens is that people come into my program and they're not eating. And they're like, yeah, my cancer treatments, I just, with these cancer treatments, I just have no appetite whatsoever. Or every time I eat, I feel like I want to vomit. Or I feel like I have a hard rock in my gut. Like I can't, do you think it's the cancer? Do you think the cancer is spread? Do you think that there's something going on there? And I'm like, I don't think so. And they're like, really? I'm like, no, really. And so we start going to work on mindset. We start dealing with these emotional stressors. We start finding out what these triggers are. And 9 times out of 10, the appetite decrease is actually not from the cancer treatment or the cancer at all. It's actually from the stress response that they're having. And it's called, what I call it, is emotional starvation. And you start losing massive amounts of weight. And every time you eat, like, you can't eat anything that has a weird texture, like vegetables sound disgusting. You only want comfort foods if you eat at all. And when you do eat, you feel like you're going to vomit. Those typically are not from cancer treatments. It is from your stress response. And this is a real thing that people truly, truly struggle with. And then the weight just starts falling off. It'll fall off very, very quick. If you're not eating, the weight's going to come off of you. If your body goes into starvation mode and starts using glycogen for energy, the weight is going to fall off of you, and it can get incredibly low. And that actually makes it very difficult when your body is weak like that. It actually makes it very difficult to eat. And so believe it or not, a lot of people that die from cancer, and people are like, oh, they died from cancer treatment. They usually die of something completely different. It's sometimes it's not even the chemo that kills them. It's actually malnourishment that kills them because of the stress response that they're having that they're not dealing with. Because mindset work is hard. It's hard. Everybody fights me on the mindset. Nobody wants to do the mindset work. It's hard stuff. It's hard to look cancer in the mirror. It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and know that something needs to change. But cancer comes to us in a way that teaches us that about ourselves. And if we allow it, it can be one of the most profound teachers in our lives. But mindset work is hard. It's hard to be staring down cancer and having to do this emotional work on yourself. But the people that do that start to heal. They start finding it easier and easier. Their appetite comes back. Their body responds to food differently They start actually craving healthy food. I have a client that she struggles with eating healthy food. She just doesn't like it. She hates it, in fact. It makes her gag. Some things, some healthy foods physically make her gag. And she's like, it's like I'm eating like a teenager or something, and I don't know how to change it. And so we had to work slowly to change her patterns of beliefs around food, which physically made a change in her taste buds. And I talked to her a couple of weeks ago and she's like, you could be so proud of me. I'm like finding healthy foods that I actually enjoy. Like I look forward to eating them. And it's because she's making a switch. She's making a conscious effort to do something different. And so that emotional starvation that she was having, because when she came to me, she couldn't eat anything. She's like, not even junk food. She's like, I can't eat anything. I feel like I'm going to throw up. And I'm so tense and my gut, it just hurts all the time. And she's like, I feel, do you think the cancer is like spread to somewhere in my digestive tract? And I'm like, only in the form of emotions. If you count the spreading of cancer as your emotions, then yeah. But the physical spread of the cancer, no. And as we started doing the mindset and we started doing meditations and we started really working on that and decoding that and understanding where that was coming from, she started to heal. And she just got a report. I mean, if you've seen some of my Facebook group posts, she just got a report. I think it's been about a month ago that most of her cancer has fully regressed. Stage 4. And she's just dealing with a few tiny little spots. And they're mopping those up right now with her treatments. So the emotional starvation is a real thing. It's something that people struggle with during cancer treatment, but also the emotional overeating. Eating too much of the wrong thing can also be triggered by our emotional responses to what is happening to us. Does that make sense? You guys with me? You're super quiet tonight. You guys with me? Does this resonate with anybody? Anybody want to share with us? We have a few more minutes left. That's about all I had to say about that. Does anybody have anything that that you want to share with us about this? I mean, does this resonate with anyone? Sorry. Yeah, that was my mortgage guy again. It's like 6:30 and they're still emailing me or still texting me. Gonna go crazy. Yes. Hi, Jamie. It's good to have you here, right? Lisa's saying this totally makes sense. Yeah. Your emotional response, Lisa, is probably having a little to do with the fact that you don't care about food. Some of us overeat when we're stressed, and some of us undereat or won't eat at all. And that emotional starvation is something that is very dangerous, and it's a slippery slope and should be something that is totally dealt with. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Anybody have any questions? I'm like sitting here like a bump on a log. I will not be around on Tuesday. Thursday is up in the air. But Thursday's up in the air. Tuesday, I will not be here. I will actually be in Texas, hopefully moving our first truckload of stuff into our new house, but we'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But Thursday's up in the air, but I may be here next Thursday, but you'll get an event. If you've got notifications turned on for the group, it'll show like, hey, Leslie has an event coming up on Thursday. So Anna's asking what to eat when losing too much weight. You're welcome, Lisa. That's a great question. So, it's funny, Anne, because a lot of people are on about like eating low carb for cancer. They're like, oh, don't eat carbohydrates, because it turns into sugar and sugar feeds cancer. And there's like this really nasty slippery slope. But in my opinion, you should be, if you're losing too much weight, then you should be stocking up on the starchy carbohydrate veggies. So carrots, sorry guys, carrots, sweet potatoes, red potatoes, legumes are always awesome for that. Whole grains like rices and quinoa are going to be helpful for that as well. And those things can actually, if you're eating a healthy diet, for me, like rice, like brown rice is actually a comfort food. Potatoes are actually a comfort food for me. So yeah, getting some good quality like salmon, would be awesome. And I would stay away if you're trying to put on weight, like don't lean on like animal products for that. Pasture raised eggs are okay for some people, but not everybody. I have several clients that are on a vegan diet, so it really depends on the person. Yeah. So, but yes, and if you want to touch base with me, we can talk about that a little bit more, just for you, like personally. Yeah. Oh, I miss you too, Jamie. Emotional can be what does you in. Absolutely. If you don't have a good grasp on your emotions and your fear, it can drive the boat. And if it's driving the boat, then chances are you're not healing. And chances are that you're going to make healing really difficult for yourself. So yeah, absolutely. Mediterranean is a good rule of thumb, but it's not a silver bullet. So just so we know that, I don't want anybody thinking like, like that's a silver bullet way to eat, because it definitely has its flaws. So yeah, salmon wild caught, absolutely, yeah. Wild caught, it should be from cold water as well. So like Alaskan salmon is going to be the very, very best, for that. Yeah. You're on this yep thing, aren't you? All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll just end early tonight. Is super awesome. Super awesome to be here with you. What was that? That was my best Midwest accent. So there you go. I don't even know what that was. I felt like I was from Fargo for just a second. The movie Fargo. Anyway, so yes, it's always great to be here with you guys. Please pardon my absence over the next week or so. If I'm not here next week, I will definitely be here the week after that. So please stay tuned. Make sure you have notifications turned on for the group. If you do, you will get a ping saying, hey, there's an event tonight, and you can sign up, or you can join in the group conversation here. So yeah. So love to have you here. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you. Thank you. I don't even know what that was, man. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys have an awesome evening. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm always here for each and every one of you as much as I can be. If you would like more information about being part of my coaching program, then please, you can just DM me. Just send me a message to this, to Leslie Nance. I'd be happy to see it there and talk to you a little bit about what's going on and maybe how I can help you through that. So phone calls to me, the first phone call is always free. So if you want to book that, you can do that. I can leave a link here. I should do that. Oh, and somebody asked about the green tea code. I need to go put that on the other one. But here's the link for that. Go to kitchen. Oh my goodness. Why can't I ever spell it? I'm a dork. I should like copy and paste it, but I don't. But anyway, go to kitchens.com/apply. So there you go. So there's the link for that if you want to book that free call with me. I think I'm booking into well, I know for sure because it's Thursday that I'm booking into next week. And it may be even the week after that, because I'm going to be absent for a few days. So moving, hopefully it all goes okay. So everybody say a prayer. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great night. And I will definitely see you guys, if not next Thursday, the week after that. So reach out if you have any questions. Keep that group active. Ask your questions there. There are a lot of amazing people there to help you and support you and love you through this. You do not have to do this alone. This is a small group of people. Almost every single person in the group, I would say probably about 95% of the group are going through their own cancer journey. And it's a great resource to reach out there and ask your questions. Or if you need a cancer rant or you just need somebody to give you a virtual hug, we are absolutely there for you. So thank you for being here tonight. And I will see you soon, although I don't know when. All right. Bye, guys. Bye.